Sorry.
Okay, today we're going to talk about reference angles, which we already have. Do you guys remember what a reference angle is?
Yes.
What?
Angle you start with.
Kinda.
That you have to find opposite and adjacent from.
Okay. They're positive, acute angle, measuring the distance from the what?
X-axis.
Yep. Okay, so they are positive acute angle measuring the distance from the x-axis. We say it is theta hat. It's like a party hat. Because you're excited, because you can figure out the sine, cosine, and tangent using those reference angles. We've done them, yes? We've used them. Now, quick little reference here. In the first quadrant, your theta is your reference angle. Because isn't everything in the first quadrant a positive acute angle? Yes. To find your reference angle in the second quadrant, you're going to take 180 minus the theta you're given. The reference angle in the third quadrant, we're going to take the angle minus 180. Again, have we done all this? Yes. I just didn't give you the party hat, did I? And in the fourth quadrant, we're going to take the reference angle and equal it to 360 minus the angle you're given. Now, what happens to 90, 0, 180, 270? What's the reference angle?
0,
Well, by definition, it's a positive acute angle, yes? Well, anything that's a quadrantal angle, isn't the distance from the x-axis either 0 or 90? Is 90 an acute angle?
No.
Nope. Quadrantal angles do not have reference angles. Everyone hear that? Because, what did you say? Because on the y-axis, it would be 90 degrees, which is an acute. And the x-axis is just the x-axis. So quadrantal angles do not have reference angles. Do we need to do a bunch of examples showing you how to find a reference angle?
No, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so there is a reference angle theorem that you have also used already, but I will write it down for you because sometimes it says use the reference angle theorem and you're like, what? All it says is a trigonometric, but we're just going to write trig, function of an angle and its reference angle are the same. Oh, they more same, exact. Now, except perhaps, we're gonna put maybe, different what? Could be the same number, but could be different what? Signs? Yeah? So we had a whole worksheet of the sine of 150 is equal to the sine of what?
30.
30, which is 1/2, right? We did a whole worksheet of that, didn't we? Or we had the sine of 210 was equal to negative the sine of my negative, because where's 210 at? Quadrant 3, and y is negative in the quadrant 3, right? So what's your reference angle for 210? $180. Remember your chart. So it is equal to negative 1/2. So with those, when we made flashcards the other day, we only did the first quadrant and the quadrantals, correct? Why did we only do the first quadrant and the quadrantals? Because every angle that you should know, can you break it down to those?
Yes.
Yes. So you're going to have things that say, I think some of them say draw. Let me look at the directions just to make sure. Where do you start? 1? Yep. Draw and find the exact value. So essentially those are your directions. Draw and find the exact value. Does it have to be like an amazing drawing? No. Okay, I want the sine of 240. So just a little drawing like this, right? Where's 240 at? Quadrant 3. Why do you think they want you to draw it?
You see it?
So you can see it. Okay? And do I have to make this loop around there? Yeah. Okay? So 240. So positive or negative there? Negative. So it's going to be negative the sine of 60. How'd you get 60?
Subtract the 240 minus 180.
240 minus 180 gives you 60. So negative and opposite 60 is what ratio?
Square root of 3 over 2.
Square root of 3 over 2. We will be having another quiz, guys. You should be doing your flashcards. Same directions for the tangent of 315. What quadrant? Fourth. Okay, positive or negative? Negative. Because tangents x and y, and one's positive, one's negative,
Yeah.
right? Negative the tangent of, what's my reference angle?
45.
45. If it ends in a 5, it better be 45, right? Okay, so, well, tangent of 45 should be really easy to remember. 1. So it's negative 1. Cosecant of 300. What quadrant? Fourth. So cosecant is the reciprocal of sine. So positive or negative there? Negative. 1 over the sine. Basically just do the reciprocal, right? Of what?
60.
60. So negative, and the sine of 60 is square root of 3 over 2. Oops. So we do the reciprocal of that, yes? So negative 2 square root of 3 over 3. Now, the answers in the back of the book may leave it unrationalized, but is that right?
No.
No. So what if I had like an angle larger than 360? Here's a- You guys remember what we had to do?
No.
Count how many times you go around.
We got to get it back there, right? So again, draw and find the exact value. Cosine of 495. So how do I figure out where it's at? How do I get it back?
Take 495 minus 360.
495 minus 360 or 720 or whatever, right? So I get 135. Okay. So where's 135 at? 45 in the second. So I had to go once around and then another, right? So positive or negative? Negative. And I'm gonna go through this. It's gonna be, actually I'm not gonna write the negative yet. I'm gonna write the cosine of 135. So that's how we got our picture, right? That looks like an E. Which was equal to negative the cosine of 45. And the cosine of 45 is?
Square root of 2 over 2.
Square root of 2 over 2. Another one you should know already, right? So if it's over 360, we just got to get back to 360. So have we done all these things before? Yes. They have approximations. Well, to do approximations, you're going to use your calculator, right? But guess what you don't get to use today? Okay. I don't think I gave you any calculator ones. No. All of them are exact values.